conspiracy theories. I mean, he loves to use that term because, remember, this term became a vogue term after the Kennedy assassination in '63, when people said, we're not going to buy this ludicrous notion that this guy was a lone gunman, and it's been used as a pejorative term ever since.
All right, stay there. We got to go to break, but I'm going to go to Julian and then Greg from Colorado. I promise, straight ahead. This is just, I was about to go to you and he hit me with that news. And then after that, I'm going to ask Wayne, what does it mean? I mean, because I feel creeped out when White House operatives are attacking me every day. Former National Security Agency operative, employee, Wayne Madsen, investigative journalist, joins us right now. I'm going to get his take on exactly what Tom Hartman over on XM and syndicated radio was saying about me, that I'm David Koresh and all this stuff. I guess I need to be burned up with my family? Is that what happens to heretics like me that don't trust known lying government? Okay, pray for us, folks, because the White House, through its operatives, are now attacking us. I'm seeing reports every day without looking, and it's really getting bad. And they're saying stuff like "shut me down," "shut me up," which then they usually carry out. So, and I've really been feeling creeped out lately, but that's just the way it is. It's victims of our success here, which is the road I walk. It's what I asked for. Julian in Colorado, you're on the air with Wayne Madsen. Thanks for holding. What's your take on all this?
I just think it's just another distraction for Obama to kind of regroup and try and make enough of an effort towards bringing everyone back to his side before the election comes up.
No doubt that it's a distraction from them gearing up to have war with Iran and Syria. That's huge news. Where are you in Colorado?
I'm actually, I work in Commerce City, which is just pretty much due north of Aurora, actually.
What are your friends and family saying? What's your take on this? I mean, I know your take. What's their take?
Yeah, well, my friends and family just pretty much have been following the media and really just believe that he's just a crazy maniac that just went off the deep end, I guess. But, I mean, I personally think it's a little funny because Friday I came into work around 8 o'clock, and I didn't know any about the news until I was off on my lunch hour. And right when I was pulling up, I saw 3 Black Hawk helicopters heading due north from the Aurora area over where I work in Commerce City.
Well, probably Miller time after a good mission completed. Thank you for the call. Let's talk to Greg real quick. We're going back to Wayne Madsen. Greg in Colorado, you got any questions or comments?
Yeah, thanks. I got some comments. I've seen so many documents over the last few days from Homeland Security and different fusion centers. I saw one. This was literally hours after the shooting from New Jersey, the New Jersey Fusion Center assessment of the mass shooting. And now they're warning of security agents to watch out for people filming, photographing, or videotaping facilities and security posts.
Yeah, they're using this as the fear to roll out, just like the underwear bomber was to roll out the scanners. This is to roll out the on-the-street checkpoints. Great point, Wayne Madsen.
Yeah, you know, the other thing that I thought was rather interesting was the fact that Holmes's father, the research he was involved with was called cortronic neural networking, which would allow machines to interpret oral and visual stimuli to think like humans. Now, the Anschutz Medical Campus, where the Joker was, supposedly the Joker, if that's who it was, and you know, this thing gets more bizarre by the day. They when that was Fitzsimmons Army Medical Center, they pioneered in the research of chips for prosthetic devices for troops that lost limbs on the battlefield. So there is a legacy of this type of research.
Exactly. Stay there, Greg. I want to hear more about. Obviously, you work in some security function, but getting these internal alerts. We see a lot of the public ones. They had said that the theater in Colorado would be attacked the month before, and the FBI pulled that warning the day after the attack last Friday. So why would they pull one of their little fear-mongering things? They might say, hey, see, we told you. We're come back to that caller and then come back to Wayne Madsen straight ahead. All right, ladies and gentlemen, again, thank you for joining us. It is Tuesday, the 24th day of July, 2012. Coming up here at the start of the next segment, documentary filmmaker Joel Gilbert is going to be joining us about where Obama really came from in the aftermath of his film, officially coming out today, but we've been selling it for the last month. Dreams of My Real Father, InfoWarsShop.com. He's going to be joining us, and we're going to open the phones up on that subject for people. He's already been on once on the radio with us, once on the nightly news, so that's coming up. But I'm holding Wayne Madsen over because he was formerly with the National Security Agency. He's written for the Miami Herald, you name it. He's there on Capitol Hill, and he's concurring that this has MK-Ultra mind control written all over it. Multiple shooters, multiple smoke bombs from different angles. The mother saying she didn't say he did it. They just called him and said, is this your son? She said, yeah. Click, and then they wouldn't talk to her. I mean, the whole thing has the scripting, the police chief, day one saying, don't listen to conspiracy theories. All of this, the timing, the UN treaty, all of it. But we just had a caller in the last segment who got cut off by the break. So I want to go back to, which caller was it, John? So now there's more callers from Colorado. Yeah, it's Greg. That's what I thought. Greg was saying he got these Homeland Security Threat Fusion Center warnings. And again, a lot of these are not public, but they're not classified. Send them to whistleblowers at Infowars.com. We got the MIAC, Homeland Security reports over the years. We publish these where they say veterans are the enemy, the founding fathers are trash, gun owners are evil, America's bad, basically. The TSA is running promos the last year. They will be in shopping malls, movie theaters. I mean, this is the rollout. And so we told you it's coming. And he was saying that, indeed, they're saying, brace, brace. And all over the country, there's hysteria. They're arresting people at movie theaters that just argue. If somebody goes out the back exit, even near the end of the movie, they call the police. The theater is flushed out. Kind of like if one person goes through security without being checked at the airport, everything's shut down and panicking and fear. But 60,000 dead on the U.S.-Mexico border the last 5 years, nobody cares. Hundreds of heads being dropped off every year in South Texas and Arizona. Nobody cares. I mean, this is just ridiculous. This is the new hype in the make-believe that men in black uniforms are coming to get you. So you got to give your rights up to men in black uniforms. But Corey, I guess or Greg, I got another Corey there from Colorado. I guess you work in security to be getting these. Just to recap, you were saying within a matter of hours, you were getting all of these messages coming in from different threat fusion centers. So what area do you work in without being too specific?
Well, I have a friend that's in intelligence, and he passes information over to me. And I have two documents, actually. One's from New Jersey, from the New Jersey Regional Operations Intelligence Center. And you're right, this is literally hours after the shooting. It has a description of James Egan Holmes, his birth date, his age, warning people now that there could be more shootings in casinos, at malls, shopping centers, sports and entertainment venues, schools, including...
Which, by the way, I've said hundreds of times, and we've got to have listeners pull up the videos and audio. I've said the next thing will be at shopping malls and all this to roll out the TSA. And the TSA in the last 3 months has been getting their teams ready in all 50 states. And I said, magically, this is going to happen. Isn't this unbelievable?
Here's another, this is from the document. The greatest threat facing security officials today is that of lone offender or homegrown violent extremists. So this is why they want to keep this lone gunman story going. And here's another document I found, Alex. This is literally from Homeland Security within hours after this event took place. And the document's performance venues indicator of violence and prospective measures. And again, this document talks about now watching for suspicious reporting, people at TSA checkpoints, talking about, again, malls and shopping centers.
No, that's what they're saying is if you argue or videotape, you're a terrorist anywhere. So the First Amendment's terror, and this is the new rollout. Do me a favor. I'm going to put you on hold. I'm going to give you one of our secret bat emails. Will you send that over right now?
Yes, can I mention a few more things? I saw Batman last night, and I did research on Christopher Nolan. He's probably one of my favorite directors. And so many of his films, I have a suspicious feeling that he's awake to certain things. Last night in Batman, they talked about training exercises during the scene where they take down the football games, correct? Well, what happened here with the shooting in Colorado? There were training exercises. There's a lot of indicators. And one more thing, Wayne, I followed your work. You talked about Howard Hughes and the Mormon Mafia connections tying into Mitt Romney. Well, Christopher Nolan has a film coming out, I believe, in the next year or the year after that, about Howard Hughes and his connections to the Mormon Mafia and his eventual death. And one more thing, it's no coincidence, but this weekend here in Aspen, I'm about 10 miles from Aspen, we have the Aspen Security Forum taking place. And the who's who of government intelligence.
Oh, yeah, the NRA was meeting in Denver during Columbine. I mean, they did that there to demonize them. It's so obvious. Thank you so much. We've got to move because we've only got 5-6 minutes left when Wayne Madsen and WayneMadsenReport.com. But, I mean, Wayne, how many times did we talk about the new rollout is going to be attacks in shopping malls and movie theaters because they were scripting it, and now we've confirmed the TSA is deploying into all 50 states, rolling out. My goodness, could they trigger a whole line of sleeper agents?
Well, there's some countries overseas where if you go into a shopping mall or a restaurant, you've got to go through a metal detector. And there's a report that Michael Chertoff was in Denver just shortly before this attack.
He was there.
So here we have Mr. Rapiscan, Mr. Pervert, body scan out there right before this happened. Sort of like when Rudy Giuliani happened to be in London with Benjamin Netanyahu during the London transit bombings, and there was a drill going on there as well.
The exact targets hit at the exact time at the exact locations. We did the math. It was from an actuary with a insurance company. Just the basic computer breakdown was something like 1 out of 23 trectogillion. And
right. Yeah, figure the odds. And the other thing I find interesting is this Cortronic neural networking, this man-machine interface. A lot of that work was pioneered by the RAND Corporation. Now, they're a well-known intelligence operation doing all kinds of wacky research.
Well, they're the master planner group.
Well, that's right. And, even Stanley Kubrick made fun of them in the movie Dr. Strangelove when he referred to them as the Bland Corporation. So they've had a long history of coming up with really crazy R&D projects. So their fingerprints are all over this man-machine interface, Cortronic cognitive neurology research as well.
Unbelievable. Listen, I want to, because you brought this up before the last hour ended, can you just recap what you heard Tom Hartman on a syndicated radio show saying about me? Because, you were moving quick. Are you saying he was implying somehow that my rhetoric is causing this stuff to happen?
Yeah, this is what you're hearing. It's like, there'll be the conspiracy theorists, the kooks will now come out and say there's a plan to seize weapons. He mentioned your name, and then he said, this is the fringe represented by people like David Koresh and the Branch Davidians. And, it's not just Hartman, but you hear the same stuff from these other Obama bots like Bill Press and, Ed Schultz and the rest of them. And it's quite clear that their only reason for existence is to, basically grandstand for the administration. Otherwise, they wouldn't have these corporate jobs that they have if they were telling the truth. They don't have any room. And we see what happens with them when somebody's on MSNBC. They start telling the truth. They get fired immediately. Phil Donahue, one case in point.
Yeah, sure. But it's just so sickening to be funded by George Soros. Think Progress that they work for is on record a White House front, run by top advisors of Obama. And, if they're worried about Alex Jones, they've got bigger problems, I would imagine, out there. People know Obama's a crook. They know Holder's a crook.